to learning about Islam, our general tendency is, if it's not entertaining, it's very difficult to keep our focus. Try to have a conversation with somebody about the basics of wudu, and a few minutes into the conversation and people lose interest. I remember once, a few years back, for one of the Jummah Khutbahs, not in this state, somewhere else, I delivered the Jummah Khutbah, and somebody came to me and he said, you know what, your topic today was really nice. The sheikh who came last week, he spoke about wudu, and it really troubled me that he's speaking about wudu when there's such big issues to talk about. And I told that brother, I said, look, yes, there are many issues to talk about, but if a person's wudu is not valid, their Jumu'ah is not valid. What's the point of attending a Jummah Khutbah where the person can talk about the political issues of this or that, or the biggest issues troubling the ummah, when people are unaware of how to do istinja? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we shouldn't talk about these issues, but we should have discussions on everything. We should talk about issues that are of a political nature. We should talk about issues that affect the ummah globally, nationally. However, it's important. But we should also talk about the fundamentals and basics of our deen. So, if we talk about wudu, if we talk about salah, sometimes we may laugh and say, listen, I'm a Muslim. I've been praying salah for the last 40, 50 years. Why are you telling me about wudu and salah? Not realizing that, subhanAllah, I may have been doing istinja wrong my whole life. I may have been doing wudu wrong my whole life. I may have not been praying properly my whole life. So, inshallah, occasionally, just so that we can be aware of the importance, occasionally, inshallah, we'll talk about some basic things. Nothing controversial, nothing too serious. Just a reminder for myself and a reminder for everyone else that we should talk about some of the basics. So, by way of illustration, I'll give one example today. When we pray salah, subhanallah, there's a pandemic happening. Despite that, we have the interest to come and pray salah. We could be busy, it's a Friday night, it's a holiday, there's so many things that we could do, but we decided we're going to put that aside, come to the masjid and get the reward of salah ma'al jama'ah. But if I'm coming and I'm praying salah, and I don't have my focus in my salah, or I am not praying properly, or when it comes down to my salah, I'm leaving out certain things, then all this effort that I'm putting into it, in the last moment I may be ruining it. So, by way of illustration, inshallah, for today, one lesson that I can put into my life is when I'm praying salah, let me try to maintain focus. That when I'm praying, I'm going to keep my sight in the place of sajda. Instead of looking around, seeing who's coming, who's not coming. The person praying next to me, his phone goes off, I start looking at that. What color socks is he wearing? Let's try to leave those. And if I've sacrificed so much to come to the masjid, I'm talking to myself. Let me do one small thing. Nothing big. We're not reading Surah Al-Baqarah in our Sunan Salah. We're not talking about something major. Just when I'm praying Salah, when I'm standing up, I'm going to try my best to keep my gaze at the place of my sujood, whatever is happening around me, so that I have full khushu' and khudu in my Salah, and all the sacrifices I've made to come here, I'm going to get that reward, inshallah. And occasionally we'll talk about other things, but today, let's try to focus on maintaining focus in Salah and being aware. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. All of our actions will be rewarded based on my intention. If I enter here, I start salah, and it's very robotic. Allahu Akbar, what happens in between, I have no idea. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm zoned out. I need to ask myself, am I truly benefiting from salah? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to learn the basics of deen again once more. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us khushu' in our salah, concentration, and allow us to benefit from our salah like the Sahaba benefited from their salah. You know, when we read about the Sahaba, if there's a problem in their lives, straight to salah. Whenever there's an issue, straight to salah. When they pray salah, it changes who they are, because the salah that they used to pray were meaningful salah. And we ask Allah to grant that to us as well. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum.